we're here at the MakeMusic booth at TMEA, and we're here with Alicia DeSoto, a band director from Louisville High School.
Hello.
Hi. So, what do you love about teaching?
I love seeing the student progress, especially like the very beginning stages. And then what's really cool about teaching music is you're with the kids for so long. So like seeing their progress over time and seeing all their little mini successes, it's really cool. Music is like the most whole person package of like emotional things and technical things and physical things, and it's just really cool.
You get to watch them grow up and
Yeah.
go from being, goofy children to goofy adults.
Yes, yep, and then watch them be like crazy when they're not playing their instrument and then like super composed when they are playing. It's really neat.
Yeah. Do you have a kind of a core guiding philosophy for teaching?
I think the biggest thing I always draw back to is the kids will love what they're doing if they feel like they're making progress and being successful at what they're doing. So then I always ask myself, okay, what can I put in place that they feel like they're being successful? So I always love figuring out like the little bitty steps of like, okay, if I break down this technical challenge into these little mini steps so they can be successful like on these little teeny tiny stepping stones, then they feel like they haven't hit a roadblock and they feel like they're being successful the whole way. So I always like try to draw back to that on when I'm teaching something is, am I letting the kids be successful with every step of the process?
Do you have any fun ways to kind of show them that they are reaching new heights and they are kind of succeeding as they go?
Yeah, even something as tangible as having like a rhythm sheet they work on where you can literally put a sticker next to each line that they're getting checked off. Like even the high school kids still love stickers, and like, oh my gosh, a middle school kid will do anything for a sticker. So if you break it down and it's really easy and they can see that they've gotten like 50 stickers, like they feel like that's my success as I've gotten all these little mini achievements.
That's awesome. That's great. Do you have any educators from your time growing as a musician that kind of really stick out or are a big influence?
Yeah, it's interesting. They're not necessarily some of my music teachers. Maybe in some of my other classes. I remember having a history teacher, and I specifically remember this one assignment that was like we had to do some sort of a map, and we had to label it a very certain way, and he even like detailed to us like what type of pens we had to use for the right size handwriting to label the map the right way. And it was just really neat how he detailed down how to do the process.
Sure.
Another really interesting teacher was a psychology teacher, and part of that was he would use psychology tricks to teach us psychology.
Oh,
so it was kind of neat how he reverse engineered how he taught us. So little things like that, just I remember the way that they taught us specifically.
Great. Shifting gears a little bit. So
Okay.
you wrote a couple blogs for the Make Music blog, co-wrote a couple blogs, kind of covering the foundations of music literacy and like all these steps and ways that you teach the foundations of music and the importance. So how do you balance working on the foundations, on all that like really kind of nitty-gritty stuff with repertoire and concerts and things like that?
I think it boils down to, I try to always pre-teach the fundamentals that kids need before they get to the music. So, okay, if I know that in the music we're going to work on, there are going to be all these rhythms, then I'll make sure that they're already there on the rhythms on a separate rhythm worksheet.
Okay.
So that the first time we get to the music, we're not teaching notes and we're not teaching rhythms, because I've already pre-taught that in a way that the first time we're reading music, we're working on balance, we're working on phrasing, we're working on articulation style stuff, and we're really working on like the music part.
Sure.
So also part of that is with my younger students, I'd say it's like 90% fundamentals and 10% music. And then as they get a little older, we can shift it slightly that by the time they're a few years in, we can spend more time on music because they have such a strong foundation. But it's like if you skip the foundation at the beginning, you're gonna plateau on the music at some point. So yeah, it's kind of like a big arch of the balance on that.
So you really connect it year to year rather than looking at a one-year curriculum.
Right, or even like in a given week, on a Monday, I might do like 50% fundamentals, 50% music, and then by Friday it's 10% fundamentals, 90% music. So even within the week, I'll kind of shift the pacing out.
Awesome. So you're never leaving anything behind, but still finding the right balance.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so music technology you also wrote about.
Uh-huh.
What kind of ways do you like to bring technology to the classroom?
The big things that are in the classroom itself is the harmony director and just the use of the drones and the subdivisions and all that, as well as recording devices where I'm recording rehearsals constantly and uploading it for the kids and listening back to it. And then the biggest tools the kids have on their own is the school district provides iPads. So what they can do with things like tonal energy and what they can do with MakeMusic that they can work on their own, we kind of guide them through that in class a little bit, but really give them the tools to just do that on their own at home.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Do you have any advice for young teachers, young people who want to get into the education field?
Yeah, I'm in year 14 now, and I remember the first few years, it was like, oh man, I thought I knew a lot, but now I don't. So I actually continued taking private lessons on my non-primary instruments where during my conference period, I would meet with the saxophone lesson teacher and I would have a lesson with him once a week. So it was like, my saxophones don't sound right. And so I would learn from him and then I would just go into my beginner classes and just teach them what I learned from him the day before. And so I kept taking lessons and we'd bring people in, even if you feel like you're not ready for someone to observe your class yet. The sooner you do it, the sooner you're not creating all these bad habits, and you just kind of have to be ready to be humbled a little bit, and that's the only way you're going to grow is by being uncomfortable in those situations. So yeah, just keep asking for help and have people in, and yeah, those are the biggest things.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for taking some time to talk to us today.
Yeah, thank you.